Hello, it's Delta 7554 here with what could be perhaps the last reveal video before Legions Imperialis is released. We will be covering how aircraft works in the game. As always, if you like my videos then please like and subscribe. So without further ado, let's get into it. Aeronautica Imperialis was the first game in 8mm I had played. I got the Angels of Wrath box for Christmas, and I liked the style and the detail on the models as well as the gameplay. However, as expected, these will play different. So we will first cover the Flyer special rule. So the rules for Flyers are as follows. Models with the Flyer special rule all work the same way. They begin off the battlefield, and may only be issued an advance order or a march order. When activated in the movement phase, they begin touching the battlefield edge, anywhere within 8 inches of your battlefield edge, and then move in a straight line, making at most a single 90-degree turn. So they work with some of the tokens you get in the box set, however they need careful placement as they can only start on the edge and make at most a single turn. So placement is important if you want to cause a lot of damage to the opposing side. In combat this changes. They fire as normal in the combat phase, and can draw line of sight, if not necessarily range, to every model on the battlefield. At the end of the round, they're removed and placed back into reserve, ready to go again. Just keep a note of the wounds they've suffered. Flyers can't engage in close combat, can't hold an objective, and can't block enemy movement. Unless they're targeted by units with the Skyfire trait, which most flyers have, they can only be hit on a natural roll of 6, and they ignore template weapons, unless they have Skyfire. Now there is nothing more on the Skyfire trait, so we will cover the Interceptor special rule next. Interceptors are the lightest class of fighter in the game. Their job is to shoot down heavier aircraft, so they get bonus attacks against another flyer after they complete their movement, courtesy of the Interceptor special rule. This attack comes on top of their regular shooting, giving them an edge in any dogfight. There are 4 interceptors available initially: the Xiphon Interceptor for the Legiones Astartes, and the Thunderbolt, Lightning, and Avenger for the Solar Auxiliar. So the Interceptor trait means you can effectively fire twice at another flyer or hit a flyer and then attack ground units. Now let's have a look at the Avenger data card. This is set up the same as the other data cards we have seen in prior videos. We have the name as well as the movement, save, CAF, morale and wounds as shown in the red box. We have weapons, range, dice, to hit, AP and traits shown in the purple box, with many of the weapons having the Skyfire trait. And lastly in blue we have the upgrades for increasing detachment size and the special rules, one of which being the Jinx rule. In Aeronautica it used to be a special dodge, but we will have to see. Let's go see how bombers stack up now. These are your heavier hitters. They tend to be larger, tougher, and more heavily armed, and they love to seek out and destroy hard targets. The Solar Auxiliar Marauder Bomber is the main bombing threat at present, via the Bombing Run weapon trait. A weapon with this trait can even damage structures, and troops garrisoned within. Once a run has been completed, the flyer continues its movement and may fire the rest of its weapons as normal. While this will make occupying structures rather risky, as if your opponent has bombers, he will open a lot of pain on your army. Plus you can make a whole army's day miserable by bombing that nice force traveling down the main road. This I will admit brings a smile to my face. Plus with a 3-inch radius you better run if one of these things comes your way. We will now look at our last item, the transports. We covered this in a past video. These can carry troops to the battle in decent amounts, but the rules have been fleshed out a bit as the article says. Units carried in a transport can only be issued with advance or march orders, so they can only move and shoot when they get out. Assault transports allow troops to charge right out of the cargo bay into close combat, and large transports can carry walkers and units with the bulky trait, Terminators, for instance. That makes the Thunderhawk gunship a threat on multiple counts. That is all for the flyers. There is also special rules like hover, point defense and jinx, the last one being already discussed. However, for the other rules we are going to have to wait until the game is released. Whilst I am not sure about the way fighters and interceptors will play out, due to their rules. I really like the bombers as they can do a lot of damage to your opponent. Combining your army with titans and bombers will make your army very destructive. So that is all for now. We may not have anything else until the game is released, but if there is anything else I will let you know. This is Delta 7554 and I will see you in another video and leave you with this.